Hello guys, it's the Plegsy again, back with another Reddit Reads. Today, this Reddit read will be called Scissors. Yes, scissors. That's all it's called. I swear it is. Well, I don't know what it's about, so, as I say, let's get into this creepy Reddit read. Okay, so normally I just read content on smaller subreddits and never post, but recently I had an experience that I am concerned about. I made a throwaway account and I'm hoping someone can help me out. My situation is freaking me out. I plan to create updates about my experience, so please let me know your suggestions. I cannot say that word, I'm sorry. It all started happening a few days ago, Monday to be exact. I woke up on Monday at 6:45 a.m. and carried out my usual routine before work. I took a shower, had a quick breakfast, packed a lunch, and drove to work. The only thing that was out of place was the fact that my car windows had a small frost over it. But hey, it's that season. When I got to work, I placed my lunch in the office fridge and went to my cubicle. Well, it is not really a typical cubicle. It is like a cubicle but has a door that can lock. But everyone at work keeps it unlocked so the janitors can empty the garbage cans at night. It is basically a mini office. My work area has 8 of these cubes in one room, and it is much more spacious than a typical movie cubicle. Anyways, when I entered my cube, I first noticed that my scissors on my desk were placed near my keyboard, with a sharp end pointing towards my chair. I thought nothing of it, but did find it weird because my scissors are normally in my desk drawer. I figured a janitor needed to cut something and opened my top desk drawer, which is not a big deal. I only have a basic office supplies in there. The janitors typically come after the business day, 5 o'clock p.m., to take out everyone's trash after they leave the office. Other than this, Monday seemed pretty typical. On Tuesday, I carried out my typical routine, noticed that there was a bit more frost on my car. Nothing a small scrape could handle, and I drove to work. And again, when I entered my cube, the scissors was on my desk, but this time on the opposite side of my keyboard, and again had the sharp end pointing to my chair. I thought that janitor must be up to something. They never took anything or moved anything that I noticed in the 7 years I've been working here. That is when I noticed that all pointed objects, such as my 2 pens and my highlighter, were all rearranged. The tips of these were all pointing toward my chair. I thought this was a bit strange. Someone must be playing a trick on me or something. At lunch, I began to talk to coworkers about my situation to see if they noticed if anything was rearranged or stolen from their work area. They all simply said no. One of them jokingly said that maybe Isabella did it. Isabel? I don't know. Isabel was one of my coworkers. For a few weeks, she started 3 weeks ago, and after the first week, she decided that the job was not for her. Monday was the first day without Isabel at work. Maybe I am crazy, but she did seem a bit off. She was young, maybe 25, and always wore darker clothing. Not gothic clothing or anything, just dark clothes. She was thin and had long straight black hair. She always went home for lunch. She says she lives 10 minutes away and we have an hour lunch break, and she was a pretty shy person. I never did anything wrong to her for the time I knew her. I treat everyone respectfully. Wednesday, when I went into work, lo and behold, the scissors are on top of my keyboard, pointing at my chair. But when I picked them up, I freaked out. There was tape over one of the scissors handles with some symbol on it. It looked like a lower T and the pi symbol. Immediately, I took out my phone and took a picture of it. Here it is. The symbol is in a square box and is in blue ink. All the pens on my desk are black ink, but whoever did this could have easily used their own pen. I took off the tape and examined it with my fingertips. I meant fingerprints, guys. Sometimes you can see fingerprints on tapes, but I saw nothing. I did not bring this up at lunch that day. I spent an afternoon Googling different symbols to try to find a meaning. but maybe it is not a symbol, but a word or something. Either way, I had no luck. Wednesday night, I was a bit nervous and freaked out in general. I did not eat dinner. I could not sleep. I just sat at my computer and tried to make some sense of all of it. I even tried Googling Isabel and her last name to see if I can find a LinkedIn or Facebook profile, but I found nothing. Maybe Isabel had nothing to do with it, but at this point, I became paranoid. Thursday, which was yesterday, freaked me out even more. I left my house for work. There was a frost on my windows, and etched on my front window was that symbol message. I literally stood there in shock, scared and out, and not sure what to do. I'm sorry, guys, I can't read that much. It was not etched by a hand or finger. The lines were all straight and precise. I had a hard time getting into my car. I opened the trunk, inspected the inside of my back seat, and I had my cell phone down on 911 just in case something popped out at me. Thankfully, nothing was inside the car. I looked around briefly for mud prints since it rained last night. Nevertheless, I could not find anything. I slowly walked into my cube at work, opened the door slowly, and looked at my desk. I saw nothing. My scissors were not on my desk. With joy, I turned my swivel chair around to sit down, and there it was. The scissors were open and wedged between the back cushion of my chair. I took a picture and checked if anyone else was around. I am normally the first person in the office, but I had to check either way. I slowly picked up the scissors and placed them into the office supply cabinet. No more. I do not care who was playing tricks on me, but I had enough. Not only did I had those scissors in the office supply cabinet, but I placed them in the far back bottom shelf so it would be difficult, not impossible, to get. Someone would really need to hunt around for those. At lunch, I talked to my manager. We were really good friends on why Isabel left. Normally, I would not ask why a person left, but I was just curious. I wanted to see if she still had keys to the office. Everyone has keys to the main door, so I wanted to social engineer my way into knowing. We talked about she was a bit off, and all of my managers said that she did not feel fit for the job and quit. He assured me that he took her keys. He did say that when she left last Friday, she had a large box of supplies, such as personal items for her desk. He said that for whatever reason, she had several pairs of scissors in the box. He could see them lying on the top when she said goodbye. She went to his office at the end of the day last Friday, thanked him for the position, and said she was sorry she did not fit for the role. This is why I bought Isabella earlier. Something about her just does not seem right. Now, maybe my manager is in on the whole scissors thing, but what happened next is unexplainable. Near the end of the day, my office phone rang and the phone ID stated unknown number, which is actually quite typical for whatever reason. I feel the phone ID system does not work correctly. I answered the phone and said hello. After about a second of silence, I heard the sound of someone using scissors, as if they were cutting paper like a maniac. The sound lasted for about 3 or 4 seconds and then stopped. I put my phone down, left work 10 minutes earlier, and locked my cubicle on the way out. I left my garbage can outside my door. I had a lot of trouble sleeping that night. I had no idea what is going on and why scissors are causing me all this distress. I had to sleep. I had to go to work, and I had to see what was going on. Why would Isabel have several pairs of scissors in her box? It just not makes any sense. I woke up a bit late on Friday today, but still made it out on time for work. No frost on my car window. So far, so good. I walked to my cube, moved the handle to my door, and it was still locked. Before unlocking the door, I went to the office supply cabinet. I opened it to check on the scissors, but they were gone. My heart sunk a bit at this moment. I had no idea who would go down to on the lowest shelf, reach for the back corner, and grab those damn scissors. I began to feel a chill down my back. I felt so scared walking to my cube. As I unlocked the door, I moved my garbage can inside, and immediately my eyes began to tear up. On my desk to the left, on my keyboard, laid a cut up picture. Clearly scissors cut it. The cuts were long and straight. The picture was of my friends and me. It was in a frame on my desk, which now has no picture in it. The picture was cut into several pieces, but not small pieces. As I reconstructed the image, I noticed that my hand was gone. Everything else is there, but someone must have cut off my hand and threw it away. I found this a bit odd, but overall terrified that somebody did such a thing. I told my manager I was not feeling well and took the rest of the day off. When I got home, I started freaking out even more. On my front door, right on the doorknob, was a piece of tape. The same symbol message on that was on the scissors a few days ago. Sorry, guys. The door to my house was still locked. The windows all looked shut. I left my house immediately and went to the mall until a friend of mine got off work. I explained my story to him, and we both entered my house together. Everything seemed fine. Nothing seems out of the place. My friend thought this was all a joke until I started crying. I hate to cry, but I did not know what to do. I am currently at his house and plan to spend the night there. I do not know what to do anymore. I'm scared. I need help. I need to get away from these scissors. I do not want to know what could happen next. I have the weekend off from work and dread going in on Monday. Here's a little update from him, by the way. He said he translated the symbol, the T and the pi symbol, to the Japan word to cut. That's what that means. The T and the pi symbol means to cut. I really do not like the sound of this, but I am glad I am figuring this out. Update number 2. Based on your suggestions, I plan to buy a webcam this weekend and giving it a go. I may install it at my home or in my car at first, as I am not sure if these breaks any sort of code at my workplace. Update number 3. Saturday, 4:25 p.m. So here I am. I am tired, scared, and frankly just feel sick to my stomach. I spent Friday night at my friend's house and half a day there on Saturday. The day was calm overall, but I was still on edge. When I arrived home on Saturday, my friend and I scooped out my house before he left. We did not come across anything. I am thinking I can do some form of stakeout and see if someone comes onto my property, as some of you suggested. I assumed any activity would occur at night, so I managed to take a nap, more like a short sleep. It was 3 hours long, and woke up around 3:45 p.m. The outside of my house seemed fine. My car untouched, no signs of life, as I took a deep breath of fresh air. So it begins. Wow. Okay, I think I know who he's talking about. I think he's talking about that one lady in Japan with her. She looks like the Joker, but the both side of her mouth is like split open, and I think they made a movie off of this. Well, anyway, this still creeped me out. But I'll give this I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because I kept messing on words. The sentences was fine, but the little parentheses with the words, I really couldn't. That's the part I kept messing up on. But overall, 7 out of 10. I like this one. It was creepy. I do not like paper cuts. That's why I gave this a 7 out of 10. But if you like this, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for more Reddit reads like this. Remember, don't watch this at night. And this is the Plagues, and I am out.